record. Hopefully that just worked. Yes, recording. All right, guys, I'm so excited. Thank you guys all so much for hopping on. We have an awesome, of course, guest speaker tonight. I asked her to, we actually have diamond calls every single Tuesday with the diamond leaders on our team. And we clearly all agreed excitedly that we would all love to hear from Maranda. She's been coaching for about 2 months, I want to say. I can go on and on and on, but I will try to keep it short. But she's been coaching for about 2 months. She hit emerald probably in about a day, I would say. She went diamond in less than 2 months, which is awesome. And the reason why it's so important to us for you guys to hear from her is because we want everyone to understand that it's not just a select few on the team that can, reach these amazing goals and really do a lot with this business. It's all about intention. It's all about belief, and it's all about doing the things that are going to lead you to building your business. It's not one person is better than another, or one person, puts more effort or anything like that. It's more your belief. It's not about time, like as far as how long you've been a coach, anything like that. This business can work for anybody if you understand what you should be doing, if you're doing, like we say, the vital behaviors, and if you're showing up and just sharing your journey authentically. And again, all of us as leaders decided that there's no better person right now that can express that and just really show how showing up, being yourself, sharing your journey, being aggressive about it, being bold about it, being authentic about it is literally the key to building this business, is the foundation of a successful Beachbody coach. You can do all the things, but if you're not showing up every single day on social media, if you're not inviting people to join you, then you're going to have a very hard time building this business. So again, Miranda's been coaching for about 2 months. She's a diamond coach. She's month 2 in her success starter status, just probably about one person away from locking in success starter, which is freaking awesome. So all the things basically that she can do, she can have done by now, she's doing them. So without further ado, I want to hand it over to you, Maranda. If you guys have questions, just pop them in the chat section as she's talking, and we'll try to get to them. And hopefully, guys, ask questions, okay? This is your opportunity to ask questions to a coach that's in maybe a similar situation as yours. So if you're a new coach, you'll be able to relate, or maybe you're more of a veteran coach that's maybe going through a lull or, a roadblock or something like that. So use this opportunity to listen, take notes, and also to ask questions. So Miranda, I'm going to hand it over to you. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, and we are so excited to hear from you.
Yay! Hi. So I am kind of blown away to even be on here, and completely humbled and excited to share. I am very passionate about Beachbody coaching. So I'm pumped to just kind of share me, and all I have is me to share. So that's what you're going to get, is a little bit of my story. To be fair, I was a Beachbody coach before and struggled and didn't have a great success about 3 years ago. And that's kind of the angle that I want to take today, sharing kind of what the difference is between like when I was unsuccessful doing the same vital behaviors, and what now I am successful doing the same vital behaviors, and what those mindset shifts and those hurdles that, I've just basically had to overcome, and kind of knowing, and hopefully that helps you guys too. So, again, like Carrie said, like I'm not doing anything outside of what these vital behaviors are. I'm, proof of the product. I'm inviting. I'm following up with my challengers, and I'm doing personal development. But what I kind of want to share is sort of a mindset shift, and what helps me actually do those things and do them just unapologetically, really, like do them with all my heart, with all my passion. And so I'm going to ask you questions, because this is what I had to do to overcome some of the obstacles for me. And so I would encourage you, write these things down, write the questions down, and then go sit with yourself and really answer them honestly. Because if you can answer these questions I'm about to ask you honestly, then you can begin to take some steps into like, how do you overcome some of the pitfalls and the things that we hit as coaches, to get you that momentum rolling and kind of get it going. And then at the end, I just want to kind of wrap up with like the tactical things that I do, and how I personally invite, and how I make connections. So vital behavior number 1, be proof of the product. So the question I had to ask myself that I'm going to ask you today is, do you believe the product works? Like, yes, we know we have to be proof of the product. So I know I have to work out. I know I have to drink the shake. Like, this is the vital behavior that we're going to do. But the question that you have to ask yourself and answer honestly is, do I believe that it works? And if I'm just being candid, the first time around, I thought the shakes were too expensive. And so when I would come up against some of those obstacles or those objections, when people would say, hey, I can't afford it, then I'd be like, okay, and I wouldn't come back with them with the fire and the passion to say, but listen, it's like less than $5 a day. You're already spending that, and this thing can change your life. Like, I didn't have that like in me. Now, yes, I believe this works. I am proof of the product. I believe in it very, very much. And so now when I get those objections, I can come back and say, hey, listen, this works. Like, and I can overcome some of those objections. Another question, and this is kind of more around the inviting piece of it, is, can you be you? And I think I shared this in the new coach training that we did a while back, or new coach call.
Miranda, let me cut you off for just 1 second. Guys, somebody's not on mute, and it's really hard to hear her. I don't know who it is, though. Maybe, okay. I think we're good now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So I shared this, I think we did a coach, like a sneak peek into coaching, and I shared it. And this is like the one thing that you have to answer before you even start coaching is, can you be you? So we don't sell the workout. We're not selling a shake. What we're essentially doing is asking people to trust us. And so, like, can I show up and be me? Can I show up and actually share my story? Can I show up and actually be who I am, and not worry about, like, am I doing it right or whatever? Like, that is when I'm posting, like, sometimes I have to step back and say, like, is this me, or is this like what I think I'm supposed to be? Is this something that I think like other people will like, or is this truly me? Because if this person signs up with me and they don't get what I've presented, then now I've become like not proof of the product, right? Now I'm not being true to what they thought that I was. So I can't, like, I can be inspired by Carrie and I can be inspired by other coaches, but I can't share their story. So can I truly be me? And this is a hard question to answer, because you're on social media and you're putting yourself out there for the world to see. So you've got to be okay with who you are. That's a question you have to answer for yourself. Like, can I truly be myself? Can I truly share me? You don't have to share every deep, dark secret, but can you share yourself? Can you actually put yourself out there? And then another one that goes around connecting and following up and inviting is that one person enough? Now, this was a big hang up for me my first time around, because as much as we're watching the people who are watching us, like, we're looking and seeing who's liking my post, who's following my stories, we also see those people who are not following us. The people who, like, when I signed up as a coach, I maybe thought would be the ones that would rally and support me. And now, where are they? Like, I don't see them liking my stuff. And it can be a mental battle. And so what I had to answer is, like, am I okay with that friend kind of being annoyed by my post and pushing through that, jumping over that hurdle for that person who's behind them that needs me to be consistent, needs me to show up because they're ready for a change in their life? So is that one person enough? Even overcoming some of those, like, self-doubts when you see the people who maybe are not supporting you, or you get like a mean message from somebody, like, listen, people like do it. And it can throw us off track. And it threw me off track the first time around. And now it's like, no, like, this one person, if that one person today, and the rest of the world hates me, but that one person, is that one person enough? And that helps me kind of get over some of that self-doubt that you have when you realize that, maybe somebody doesn't like what you're doing, or isn't quite around to that, like, okay, I'm ready to sign up and interested in what she's doing. They're in that, she's posting again phase. That, like, I love that when you guys post the progress of people who are watching your stories. Like, that's so true. And then another one, and I love this one, and this kind of is all encompassing with all 4 of the vital behaviors, is, am I willing to make it a priority? my number one biggest pet peeve, and what anyone who listens to me in any training, whether it's with my job or my family or church or whatever it is that I'm leading, when they come back at me with, I don't have time, that's like my number one pet peeve. Because if I'm just being honest, we all have 24 hours. Like, I don't have 28 and you have 13 hours. We all have 24 hours. The difference is, am I willing to make this a priority? And this is an honest question that you have to ask yourself. Am I willing to make this a priority in my life? Stop saying I don't have time and start saying it's just not a priority. Because if you say that, then you're going to look at the things that you do make a priority, and you're going to make some adjustments. Like, how maybe that, Netflix show shouldn't be a priority over my hours spent in my business. But maybe you've never said that honestly to yourself, and so you've never made the adjustment to invest the time. So I had to stop saying I don't have time and start saying it's just not a priority. And if I don't like that response to myself, then now I have the ability to change it. And then the last question that I had to ask myself, and that I continue to have to ask myself, is, am I pouring from an empty cup? So this goes around that last vital behavior of personal development. In this business, we are putting ourselves out there. We are being authentically me. We are physically exercising. We are watching our diet. Like, there's a lot of things that we're doing, but we're sharing our story, and we're pouring out into people. We're trying to help people. Like, that's essentially what we're doing. We're helping people. And so if I'm pouring from an empty cup, these people are going to get crap. Like, I just don't have anything to give. I'm not going to have, good posts. I'm not going to have like a lot to share with people because I'm empty myself. So personal development is like, how full am I? And what do I need to actually fill my cup? What energizes me? What gives me that? Like, maybe it's a book. Maybe it's just time with family. Sometimes it's just sitting with music. What is it that's actually filling me up so that I have something to pour out? So hopefully those questions, if you were to be honest with yourself, will kind of help you navigate where you're currently at in your business. And if you don't like the answer, like, don't lie to yourself. Like, sometimes we're like, I know what I want the answer to be, so I'm just going to like lie to myself to make myself feel better. Don't do that. Like, be honest with where you're at, because then you can start making the adjustments to get where you want to be, to change that answer to what you want to hear. So now I want to talk about like actually inviting, because I think, if I'm speaking to any coaches that are either at a standstill or new and kind of navigating this business, and personally for me, inviting is A, where the magic happens, and B, where all of that self-doubt comes rushing at you, because now you are physically talking to someone and saying, I want you. And that makes us feel vulnerable, and that makes us feel self-conscious. And, before I would like, okay, I have to invite 15 people a day. Like, I had this number, and I would send a script, and then I would close my computer and walk away. And I would have so much anxiety about that invite, like those Hey Girl invites. So this time around, I had to really think, like, what is it that I can do that I can feel good about, that fits my personality? Again, it's about being authentically me. I'm not saying that scripts don't work. I'm not saying that you can't do them. I'm saying for me, they messed with me, and they took me to an end of a road where I felt like I couldn't push through. Because when I didn't get anything back, or when I would go back and read it and I'm like, it just doesn't sound like me, it would hang me up. So I kind of just want to walk through like what my hour spent on connecting with people looks like, and hopefully it helps. Again, this is your business. It's not my business. It's not Carrie's business. This is your business. And so you have to find that groove for you. You have to find what works, but you have to invite. If you want to get people to join, you have to ask them to join. And so this is kind of how I do it. So we have a tracker by Yvonne, Chelsea, I think a few other folks on the team have a tracker. You can use any form that you want. There's like so many ways. There's not one perfect way. This is what works for me, and I love it, and it keeps me accountable to what I'm accomplishing throughout the day. Okay. So I'm a numbers person. Numbers don't lie. I love budgeting. I love doing profit and loss reviews. Like, I love all of that piece of the business. And so I believe if I sow numbers, I'm going to reap numbers. And so the more people that I'm inviting, the more people that will join. To me, that's just basic common sense. However, I don't want to send scripted 100 invites a day. Okay. So my goal is to connect with 160 people a day. So this is what I do. I send 20 invites or friend requests on Facebook, and I follow 20 new people on Instagram every day. So now 40 people now have a notification of my name on their social media. 40 people have seen me. Then I will go to people that I added yesterday. Like I'll go to my friends and go to the newest, and I go to their page. And I go to 20 pages on Facebook, 20 pages on Instagram, and I connect with them. I like, I like their, whatever it is that connects with me. Like I'm not just randomly liking something that's not, like that doesn't connect to me. I'm liking something that I'm like, hey, I can relate to that, or this person and I can bond from that, or I'm commenting, or hey, your kid's really cute, or hey, where'd you get that pool, or whatever it is. Just somehow I'm connecting with them and trying to establish a connection with them through their social media page. I'm not like in talking about Beachbody. I'm not doing anything. I'm just commenting on some of their stuff. And I do 20 people on Facebook, 20 people on Instagram. So now I'm up to 80 people who have seen my name in their notification feed. Then I go to stories and I do the same. And I'll follow 20 stories on Facebook, 20 stories on Instagram. And this, I'm, sending them a little heart eyes, or I'm making a comment. Now I'm in their inbox, and that's another 40 people. So I'm up to 120 people a day that have seen my name either in their inbox or in their notifications. Then I'll go back to my post. I try to post a minimum of 3 posts a day. And then I post on my story. So this keeps me accountable to what I'm putting on my social media, because I have to have something to go back to from the day before. And this is where I make some more connections. So I go back to my post on both Facebook and Instagram. Anyone who liked or commented, I send them a, hey, thank you so much for the love on my post. Your support's like gold to me. I hope you're doing well. Like that's it. Just I get in their inbox and I let them know, hey, I see you seeing me. And then I do the same with stories if they're following my stories. So I do a total of 20 between my Facebook and Instagram and my stories. I send them a message. So now I'm up to 160 people every day who have seen me in their inbox or seen me in their notification. Now, again, I have my post. So I'm holding them, like I'm trying to hold accountable to those 3 posts. So I'm inviting them personally there. I'm inviting them in my stories. And if they have been following me, like I see I'm looking at this every day and they've been following me, those are the people who get the, hey, just want to let you know, if you're ever interested or if you're ever curious about any of this health journey, please don't be shy to ask. Either way, love all the support. Let me know. I don't copy and paste this. It's something different every day. This is when I start actually inviting. So if they've been watching me for a while, or I've already sent them the, hey, I appreciate the love on my post, and they've, for a few days followed me, those are the people who I'm personally inviting. This takes more time than just sitting down and inviting. But again, this is about relationship. To me, it's about connecting with people in a way that they're like, hey, I can rally with this girl. I have something to connect with her. I trust her. So now I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to improve my life. And now I've built this rapport because I've established a relationship. Most of the time, I don't get ghosted when I send that, hey, if you're ever interested, just let me know. Now, a lot of times the response is, hey, girl, you're killing it. Love what you're doing. Love following your story. But I'm not interested. Okay, that's fine. She let me know. That doesn't mean no. It just means not right now. I get it. It's totally fine. They're still watching me. They'll come around. But then I get some responses, like I got a couple nights ago, and was like, I'm so glad you messaged me, because I've been wanting to reach out to you, but I've been scared. That's exactly what she said. And those are the messages I live for. That's it. That's why we invite. That's why we establish relationship. That's why we get in their inbox. This person, I sent them the, hey, I appreciate the love on my post. They never wrote me back. And then I sent them, because they kept watching, said, hey, you know, don't be shy if you're ever curious. And then I was so scared to reach out to you. Like, come on, like, that's why we invite. So that's the tactical side of like how I'm actually doing it. As far as my post, you'll see my posts are a little bit longer. I try to stay very connected. Like, I don't plan out my post. I'm not like, I just kind of wing it. I go off of what's on my heart. I say, hey, Jesus, what do you want me to share today? Jesus says, share this. And I say, okay, like, that's just kind of how I go. And then like my posts, like the 3 posts that I post are typically kind of heavier. Like, they're a little bit more in your face, or kind of bold, or like, this is how you really know my heart. But then my stories build relationship. My stories are like where you come and laugh with me, or like I share my family, or you'll see a little bit more of like me, you know, my sarcastic side, or, you know, whatever. And so I try to show way beyond Beachbody in both my post and my stories, because I'm really trying to get them to trust me and get to know me so that they feel comfortable reaching out to me. I'm inviting every day on my post. I'm giving a call to action. But the amount of people, and I think this is important for someone to hear, the amount of people that actually reach out to me from my post or my stories are minimum. All of the work is done when I'm in their inbox and I'm reaching out to them. So I think that's important for anyone to hear. Like, you can have the best posts in the world. You can be as consistent as you want to be. You can be as passionate as you want to be. But if you're not in their inbox, then that's like, you're not going to get those people signed up. So anyway, I think that's important. I think somebody needed to hear that tonight. So that's it. Like, that's what I do. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. So that's it. Does somebody have a question, or is somebody not muted?
I was unmuted. I muted my damn self, and then I forgot to take myself off, so I just had to do that. There's a question here in the couple of questions here in the box here. This is a great question, because I know a lot of people have questions about tracking. So you do a lot of reach outs. You you friend a lot of new people, which is totally awesome. Now, do you track all of those names? That was one of the questions here. And if you do, how do you do that?
Yes, I do. I don't know if you can see this very well, but there's 20 boxes. I friend request, and this is just for me because I want to feel accomplished at the end of the day. The 20 people that I friend request on Facebook are on the top, and the 20 people that I friend or send follow invites to on Instagram are on the bottom. So basically I have 2 names per box in that first tracker. And I do track it just because at the end of the day, I like to have something physical. I can say I did my stuff.
So you're a pen and paper gal.
Yes.
So you're going to have like 1 million notebooks by the end of this year, right?
I already have 1 million, so I have like 2 million.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's so important. I think that's something that even myself, everyone knows me, I don't do that great of a job with tracking. And I think it's so important, first, for, like you said, for holding yourself accountable, but also for having something to go back to so that you're not scrambling. And then all of a sudden you have an hour pocket of time, and now you're like, oh crap, where do I start? Where do I go? So it takes a little bit more time and effort, but it saves you so much more time in the long run, especially as you continue to grow and build. Like 6 months, a year, 2 years, all of that, you need basically your tracking system that's your CRM. That's your little black book in your business. Like, basically that's all your contacts. That's all your, as they continue to converse with them and you continue to follow up with them, I think tracking is so important. Sherry asked 3 posts a day on your platform, like on Instagram and Facebook, and then just a bunch of stories.
Yes, I usually do. Like, I do the same posts on Instagram and Facebook. So I'll do 3. So technically that's 6. That's 3 on Instagram, 3 on Facebook, but they're the same post. And then, because I actually have a very different group of people on both platforms. A bunch of people I don't know on Instagram. My warm market is mostly on Facebook. And then, yeah, tons of stories and a mixture of like everyday life. Morning, afternoon, and evening is typically my goal.
Okay. You guys can ask questions in here too, or unmute yourself and ask them. But I just wanted to ask one other question because I know a lot of us. Yes, this is so awesome. By the way, thank you. I love the nitty gritty that you talk about. You know what I mean? Not just the overall thing. It's like, look, it's the grind. You know what I mean? Like we say that all the time. It's the hustle. It's the grind. It's the doing the things. It's not just her great posts that say, "Ooh, I just post up something, sit back," and I'm like, "Ooh, they all come flocking to me. That would be wonderful." Doesn't happen. And I'm so glad that you said that because your posts are awesome. But our other question a lot of people have had and have asked me, and we've talked about this in the leadership thread too, is what are you saying to people to get them to sign up as a coach right away and to make them feel comfortable and get them excited and rallied rather than, I see that most of the people you sign up as coaches, which is totally awesome. That's my goal. That's how we train people to do it. We all know that sometimes that's difficult. So we were just kind of curious to see how you approach people when you get them signed up about the coaching opportunity, the discount coach, how do you approach them about that?
I honestly, like when we start talking price, that's usually when people get like, so like they kind of shut down a little bit. And so I just like, hey, I get that it sounds expensive, but I can save you like almost $17 a month if you want the discount, and we can just sign you up as a coach. And if later you decide to coach, then that $40 fee is waived. If not, no big deal. So like basically I'm just saying, hey, as a friend, I'm signing you up as a friend. And that's honestly what I say. Like, I do this for my friends. I'll get you a discount on your shakes each month. But basically I want them to know, like, hey, I want to do you a solid.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. Like you said, like, I mean, there is a, I know we never use the word sales, but there is a little bit of that in it when you're talking to people, because basically you want them, our goal is to make them feel confident and to make them feel comfortable. It's just the way that we address it. We all know, we've been there when you word vomit 1,000 million things at them and they're like, yeah, I'm good, I'll let you know. You know what I mean? And then it's like crickets and you never hear from them again because you totally overwhelmed them. So simple, like you said, like just keep it simple. Like, I can save you this money. Like, you don't have to get into exactly what a discount coach is and exactly what it means to be an active coach until later. You know what I mean? Like, keep it super, super simple. Just basically saying that you can save them money and you would love to get them set up as the discount. So
and usually when I'm at that point, I'm like, I'll give them the rundown of the money. And then if they're like, okay, let's do this, then I voice text them the coaching information. So then it feels less like I'm trying to extend the sale and a little bit more like, hey, I want to help you save a little bit of money. So here's another option. So it just kind of, I don't know, connects a little bit more, feels friendlier. So
I agree. I'm a huge fan of voice texting too, especially after they've already agreed to it. So it's kind of like, either way, you're good to go. Same price, no matter what. But this will get you a discount. And also for me, I love that because that shows also that we're setting them up not for a 1-month challenge. You know what I mean? Like, you're going into this, like, why would you not want to save money on it next month? You're going to be in here forever. Hopefully that's our goal, is to keep them with us forever. So that also sets the tone of that as well. And once they're already a coach, it's a lot easier as you're sharing about the coach opportunity for them to be like, oh, well, I already am a coach, and she's making money and she's earning income. And hopefully eventually we can start doing things together once we can get the heck out of our houses and all that kind of stuff. So the seed is already kind of planted. And I think that's awesome. And I think that's really a good strategy, like for everybody, is to always offer that coach discount, because it's going to help you with your rank advancement, of course, and it's going to help them stay in it. Because if they're saving 25%, they're much more apt to stay on track and maybe try some of the other products too. Like, once they're in a challenge group and they see beach bars and Energize and this cleanse that's going on that everybody wants to do now because they see everybody else doing it, if they are saving 25% off, it really helps. So I'm going to stop talking. Does anybody else have any questions, guys? Ask away. I think this is, like I said, this is awesome. By the way, thank you so much for all of this. It's so great to hear that, like, again, that you're doing the daily things. You know what I mean? You're doing the stuff. Like, it's not just happening. Like, you're reaching out to people. You're a lot of people every single day, because I know, myself included, that was a step a lot of us skip, is, oh, well, we got our post up, we did this. Well, I'll save the inviting. Oh, well, I ran out of time, so I'll do inviting tomorrow, or I'll do inviting next week, or I'll do no. That is literally, and this is what my coach mentors from Beachbody taught me. Do that first. Because that is the hard stuff. That's the not fun stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, That's the stuff that you have to do. And I love that you said that too, is that's the number one most important part of being a coach, is reaching out to people. Like, your posts are great. That's wonderful. And I'm sorry, I have to throw this in here too, and I know that you'll agree with this, is also obviously being the top challenger in your challenge group. Like, but first and foremost, like, that is your priority as a coach, so when you're offering this, and again, I love what you said about feeling confident about it, because if you're confident about it and you know these products work, you're into it, you're following it, you're doing your best, it's going to come out so much more authentic and real and passionate, because you're doing all of the things. So that in turn gives you the confidence to invite people, because it's so clear in your post every single day how passionate you are about it. So nobody's feeling awkward. And that's why I always say to people, like, it's not one or the other. You can't just post, invite publicly, or just invite personally. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a all inclusive type of thing. And we would love to see your guys, I know Yvonne had mentioned it in the thread, your tracking system, because that's awesome. And I think people could definitely benefit from it. If you guys love it, we would love to take a look at it. Sarah asked another question too up here too. Sarah, if you want to unmute yourself, you can, but what if people aren't following you much yet and you need to do a lot of cold ask advice for that? Yeah. So how are you, I know that we're kind of limited on time, but do you have any way that you're building your Instagram, or do you already have a big following, or are you working on that now?
No, Instagram, I don't. I'm working hard on that. But the more that you follow, like, the more that you go to their page and like their stuff and follow their story. So I'm always trying to look at people I'm not normally looking at. The more that algorithm actually puts you on top of their stuff. So I've noticed, like, if I follow them, now they're watching my stories. And so I'm really focused on that initial connection time on people that I'm not typically following. I'm going to the new people that I've just friended, or the new people I've just followed, not the people who have followed me back. I think that's important on Instagram. I go to people I'm following to their page so that it does entice them to follow me back, because if they don't know me, they don't automatically just follow me back. So if I go and like their stuff, then it will bring in more of those 20 people that I followed to actually follow me back. So
let me see if Sarah.
Thank you. I love it. I have all these Post-its. They're all piled up. Awesome, Miranda.
Yeah, Sarah's going to need your tracking system, apparently, because the pile of Post-its isn't really like the best use of our time. No, but that's great. And I think that, and guys, if you have any other questions, ask me. I have 4 minutes, so I definitely want to do a picture. But I think this is all great. And like Miranda even said, like, she does nothing outside of the ordinary. Like, and that's what I always say to people, like, the ordinary is the extraordinary, really, in Beachbody, because so many people don't do the simple things. And everybody thinks there's a secret, or like that's because she's doing that. No, it's because she's doing the things that she's supposed to be doing in order to build a business. And we're all guilty of this at times, of not doing the things. But also, anytime someone comments on your stuff, you need to respond. Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, I like to, and I notice that a lot of you guys do that too. If you respond to their comment, it also bumps your picture back up into people's feeds. So always respond to people's things, always. And then I love, that's the perfect opportunity for me to, like, again, get into their inbox. I 100% agree with Miranda on that one. You have to get into people's inboxes, because that's where the conversations start. So any opportunity you can get, if someone comments or likes, immediately they get a message. They get a quick thank you message every single time. So connecting, and I know that we say this all the time, but hopefully this really hits home to you guys, that this isn't just 1 or 2 people that are successful that way. That's what every single person that hits Success Club constantly, that's building their team, that's rank advancing, that's, all of these successful things, it stems from inviting, and maybe inviting is not the best word. Maybe it's communicating, or, creating relationships, or just talking to people, because that could be, via real life. Well, not right now because nobody's going anywhere, but real life, or talking, to a friend on the phone, text messaging them. If you're a newer coach on here or listening to this, just ask your friends. Just ask them. You have to, at some point, why not now, reach out to them and say, hey, I'm doing this thing. You want to do it with me? Every single person that you know should get that message. Like, that is my number 1 piece of advice, because if I could start over and do it over, that's the first thing that I would have done. Because like Miranda said, maybe they're going to say no, or maybe like, yeah, Carrie, be quiet. I'm not into that. I'm not, nah, the fitness stuff, I'm not. believe me, because I've been doing this for 4 years, they will come around, but they won't unless you message them. And then maybe in like a week, like, what do you think? You ready yet? Like, you don't have to keep it, you don't have to be stressed about it. Have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, just keep it light. Like Miranda said, it doesn't have to be stressful where you send out 100 invites, you close your thing, and you're anxious for the rest of the day, and you're stressed out, and you hate your life, and you're like, why am I doing this? Everyone's saying no, and I'm not good at it. No, keep it fun, keep it light, keep it you, and keep it consistent. So I'm going to take a picture. And I just want to say thank you so much, Miranda. You are awesome, and that was absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to do a picture. Everyone else is muted, but I'm sure they're saying the same thing. I see smiles and stuff like that. So they love you. We love you. And I'm going to do a boomerang. I have to hurry up because it says less than 1 minute left. So boomerang. All right, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I'm going to do a picture, if it lets me. Let's see if I have enough time. I'm saving my boom. Okay. Right. 1, 2, 3. All right, perfect. So that was awesome. Thank you so much, Miranda. I'm gonna post this recording too in the group. So if you guys had coaches that weren't able to hop on, just let them know that I'm gonna be posting the recording, if not tonight, tomorrow. All right. So we got work to do, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for hopping on.
Thank you.
Bye.